Hello, adventurers, and welcome back to the Quiet Kenku for this is actually D&D stuff this week. Last week we had to skip, but this week we're back. And it is episode 16, which I actually need to correct because I put 15. That's my error this time. But yeah, so we're going here into episode 16 as the party approaches the city of Burmsley, the city of Spires. But last week, party was finishing up some of their travel, and you know what, Connor, I'm calling you out. What are a couple things you remember from last week, or last session, I should say? Don't have to recap the whole thing, but what are a couple key moments? I know I'm putting you on the spot. So cruel. If you don't remember, you can pass it to
Not
someone
gonna
else.
lie, I think about the only thing I really remember fully from last session
Mm-hmm.
was bubbles.
Okay, that was a pretty big thing. Um,
That's about it though.
okay. Well, yeah. So the fight with Sir Bubbles happened, or rather, with Bubbles, a descendant of Sir Bubbles. Um, jeez, I I just saw what was put in no mic. That's really funny. um, but yeah. So that happened. General just finishing up the travel. Last week was a bit of honestly, last week's, or sorry, I keep saying last week, last session was a little bit of filler just so that we could hopefully have everyone here for the arrival to the city. So last week was just finishing up travel. A few encounters happened. You met Bubbles, who's currently traveling with you, riding atop a cat, if I remember correctly, uh, riding atop a cat, which is actually faster than you would think. Uh, keeping pace with most people on their horses, funny enough. Um, but you guys are finishing up your travel. Is there anything any of you want to do, or anything at all before you arrive to the city? We'll say this is the day before. If there's anything you want to do, now would be the time. If not, we'll get to the city gates.
I should probably chat with people like I wanted to do, but holy shit, doing anything at the start of the session makes me so scared.
I understand. Um,
It's fine.
okay. I mean, if you'd like to, you can, or I can give some fluff first.
Uh, as long as there's time before the committee comes back, then I would wait. If
Oh, I mean,
if that.
definitely, because there's gonna be some stuff that happens. The kitty coming back is gonna be a little bit into things. It's
Okay.
not gonna be right away. Um, but so is in that case you want to wait on that until a little later?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you just, whenever you want to, you may do. And this goes for all of you. Interrupt me whenever if there's something you want to do as I'm describing things. Um, so, uh, I'll say you guys are, you get through your last day. You've kind of gauged it. You're going to be arriving around sunrise. Um, on this last day, you're going to be getting toward the city outskirts. So, you guys pack up in the morning, get ready to go, and you finish up your last bit of travel. As you approach, you see it over the tree line before you see the walls. You see three very large towers. They're not just large as in they're wide, or just tall. They're both. They're these massive lighthouses, three of them. First thing you notice is each of them is topped with a different colored dome. The first one is golden, another brass, and the last one is a very polished silver. It almost blinds you a bit from the sun coming up over the horizon, but then you notice they are themselves lighthouses, guiding in the ships, as this is a coastal city. And as you get through the very edge of the tree line and can see the city itself, you see large, towering walls that surround not all of the city. There is some homes and farmsteads outside of the walls, but this wall surrounds what would be considered the city proper. They go right up until the water where it stops, and you can see that there is some city built on top of the water. Similarly to kind of how it was in certain areas of New Hope Port, where there was docks with buildings built up upon them, or kind of connecting dock to land itself. There is this large district. You also notice that as you go up to the wall, it does slope upwards. So the city proper is higher physically than the rest of the city itself. But these three lighthouses stand proud with various bridges between them, and it almost looks like additions were made over the years. But then the rest of the city spreads out before you. It's nowhere near the size of what Kingsport once was. And many parts of the city look like they were cobbled together more recently, as if a city was being built within a city. But as you begin your approach, starting to get into the farmstead area, you are not yet to the walls. You see there are people bustling about, starting their days, shops opening, farmers who'd probably already been working for many hours in the day, wiping sweat from their brow as you pass. There are people in carriages coming and going, and as you walk through this more rural area, people look at your group, as you are a very colorful bunch, and then they give you some looks, but most continue on their business without any issue. You even see a couple guard who don't seem to be paying any attention, really. They just kind of see you, yawn, and give you a nod, and continue on their little walk. As you are approaching the city wall itself, there's a large gate that you must pass through. And you can see that there are a number of people standing in a line just waiting for the guard. And you see that there's a number of guard around the gate who are checking papers, checking for caravans, checking their manifests, asking people what their business is. Do you all get in this line, or do you wish to do something else?
Well, before we get in the line, I suppose we should disguise ourselves just a tad in case the whole being wanted criminals thing. So,
Okay. All right. So then how do you disguise yourselves?
well, I haven't had a time to really practice them, but I do have. I could just throw my blanket over myself as I tend to do, but I also have painter's tools, so I feel like I'm going to attempt to disguise myself by painting on some like a beard.
Okay, okay. You know what? Interesting. So I'll have you. Are you proficient with those tools?
I am not yet. I
Okay.
haven't had time to practice.
I would say, go ahead for that. Give me a. Actually, there are rules for this. I could check them, but I believe it's just it would be dexterity. It'd just be a dexterity check with those tools, and then
Oh, I forgot to roll for luck. Hold on, these are
oh
my rolls
yeah,
for luck.
yeah, got to do that. Rolling for luck is it's bad luck if you don't.
Okay. Now this is my actual roll. A 9 is my actual roll.
Oh, oh no. Okay. Well, it looks like you painted a beard on your face.
Fair enough.
But
They
you
won't
know,
recognize my face if they just notice that my beard is painted on.
they'll be so focused on the painted on beard that they won't
Fair
even
enough.
think about it. Yeah. Okay. You have painted a beard on your face. Okay. What about the rest of you? Is there anything you wish to do to try to hide your appearance, or do you just go up?
I'm gonna use that necklace from the Otrus. But before he actually does use it, he's gonna cover himself up more, make it look like he's just cold, because he is, and make his appearance look honestly how he would have looked if he wasn't fish. So
Okay.
what he should have looked like as his half-elf self.
Okay. And so, using this necklace you disguise yourself, and mention on the cold for everyone here, it is getting a bit chilly. You're on the cusp of the very snowy lands in the northern reaches. You're on the very edge of that, so it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. It's not snowing, but it's uncomfortable, especially for you, Seth, where the cold is a little more not great. Um, so it's not great. But you do so. You disguise yourself that way. Any other disguises we wish to do for anybody?
Are we around a group of people currently?
You could not be if you don't want to be. There is enough space you could get away from people to do something.
I'm gonna wild shape into a squirrel, and I'm gonna sit on Seth's shoulder.
Hell yeah.
Two
Hell yeah.
squirrels with our party.
Yeah, honestly, it's great. Bubbles
Look,
kind of like
it looks more. It looks
Huh?
more convincing with two.
You know what? That's fair. Two squirrels are better than one.
Seth is doing that weird, like, half leaning away thing as best he can, because he's a little unsure, because you are now Squirrel. Squirrels kind of scare him.
Okay.
And it's gonna look at him, give him a side eye, then look forward.
Dramatic side eye. Okay. So we have a squirrel, a hooded, beard painted on figure, a normal half elf? Yes, normal half elf man, a squirrel, two squirrels. Sapling, is there anything you wish to do?
I don't have any fun, cool things like that I can do, but a good haircut always makes people look different. I'm not cutting my hair, but I'll take my braid out, take my hat off. Here, this is a brand new person.
Honestly,
I
fair.
kind of reach out and make it so that his bangs are covering his eyes, because like they're kind of odd and strange.
Mm, fair.
There.
Honestly, though, like new hairdo like that, yeah,
New hair, new me.
yeah, it can change a person. Don't mind the entire bottom half being very, but like,
Yeah, that's fine. There's plenty of. There's so many centaurs in the world. We've ran into about 1,000 on our ventures.
literally though, they'll be too distracted by the luscious locks to really,
Yeah,
Um,
these beautiful beach waves.
We'll be too concerned about painted on beard and two squirrels.
Honestly, yeah.
You know what? Honestly, yes.
I feel like Sapling and Seth are the two like least conspicuous right now.
Yeah. Okay, well, at at that, anything else we wish to do before proceeding? No? Okay. Well, you get in line. There's a good like dozen people before you. Now some of them are grouped together, but it does take maybe about 30 minutes to get through this line. The queue is long, it's going slow, so it takes a few minutes. But eventually, the people gathering behind you to get into the city as well, you get up to the guard. They wave you all forward, and first one steps forward. There's about 5 of them here that are actively right there, and a couple more up on the walls that you would have seen as you were approaching. And one of them steps forward, a little more decorated than the rest, and he says, "What's your business here?"
Oh, we're here for a visit to a family.
Hmm. Family, eh? Is that just for you? Is that for all of you?
For me and the boy here, and I put my hand on Seth's other shoulder that doesn't have a squirrel.
You do so, and eyes kind of drift. Is that a squirrel? Is that another squirrel? Riding
Yeah,
a
we got
cat?
it.
No, it's just never seen that before.
Boy can have pets, right?
You know what? Roll a deception check. Is it good? Okay.
Don't talk to me or my squirrel or my other squirrel ever again.
Or my cat.
Fair.
24.
Jesus Christ. He's like, oh, all right, fine. Going to see family. Don't cause any trouble. If we hear you're causing any trouble, there'll be problems. And as you probably already know, there is a bit of a procession that's going to be going through the city here in a couple hours. The church has a demonstration. So just try to stay out of their way. They'll have the areas marked off. All right. And they're going to give a whistle, and guard will move out of the way and wave you forward. And so, city is yours. Now, I believe 2 of you are from here originally.
I am, in fact, from here. And so is, I believe, Edna, but I could
Yes.
be misremembering.
Edna lived a portion of her life here, yes.
Yes.
I'm not
So,
originally from here, but I
yeah.
have lived here for about how long has it been since Kingsport was destroyed?
30.
So about 30 years.
35 years.
Yeah.
36.
Yeah.
Edna lived here for a period of time that I have totally determined.
Of course. Well, those of you that have lived here for any portion of time would have seen the city change quite a bit. Even if it was just for a year, this city is rapidly growing, rapidly changing, things being built and deconstructed and moved and changed. Entire city blocks changing overnight. It's a rapidly evolving city of spires and technology, and once magic, but now that has since fizzled out. It was actually home to a great mages academy that has since been repurposed. But as you enter the city, from where you'd be coming from the south and entering through the south entrance, you actually would be in a not, I guess poor would be a accurate descriptor. You would be entering into a slums district in a way. It is where a lot of the refugees from Kingsport would have gone. It's where they set up homes. It is a little better off now as the years have gone past, but it's never fully become what it should, what it could. So, where is your current destination?
Our current destination, I would say, is the Twisted Moon Drop,
Okay.
if we can get there.
All right. Go ahead, one of the two of you that is from here originally, go ahead and make a history check.
Do you want to make this, or should I do this one?
How's your history?
It is +5.
Yeah, you should do it.
Bad. That's a 9 again.
Okay. You kind of start to think and try to figure out where this could be because it's a decent sized city. And so, with many different districts, each district for different things. So, you're trying to kind of figure out where it could be, and you're pretty sure it would be in the sort of southwestern region of the city, not too far from where you are. But exactly where in that district it might be, you're a little unsure. So it'll take a bit more looking to find. But you have a little bit of a lead.
It should be just this way. I'm not exactly sure where, but I'm gonna lead us to that district and yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So, start to make your way there, and I'll actually tell you the area you're going to is known as Morrig Side. It's a section of the city where most of the kind of dive bars and things like that are. It's still in the poorer area, but it's generally considered an okay place where you can get good drinks, stuff like that, if you're not someone of means. So you all begin to walk. Again, if there's anything you want to do, conversations you want to have, stop me at any time. So you start making your way through the streets. Now, again, you do see as it gets more toward the center of the city, toward where these 3 spires are located, these 3 giant, gargantuan lighthouses, it slopes upwards gradually. So when you're standing on the main road, you can look straight up and see it curve upwards. So, but you take a couple rights, and some lefts, and eventually you make your way into the general Morrig side area. At this point, any of you, go ahead and make a perception check as you walk to find the location you're looking for.
I'll do it
I
because Seth can't read.
Oh shit,
Yep.
you're right.
I would have let Seth do it, but I would have been like, okay, you got 29, got it. Well, you don't read, so you go based off of this, I guess.
I used the wrong dice, but that doesn't change anything. That just makes me feel dumb. I got a 16.
A 16. Okay.
Wait, no, wait,
Oh,
I lied.
better.
Hang on. I forgot to add my wisdom. I got a 19.
Aha, 19, even better.
Yay!
So you're looking around and, sorry, remind me the name of the place. I don't have that page in front of me.
The Twisted Moon Drop.
Twisted Moon Drop. So you're looking for the Twisted Moon Drop. And as you're walking through the streets, you see the people here. They look, many of them look very, some of them worried, some of them a little afraid. They see you walking down the street, and many of them kind of shy away and walk down the street, just kind of trying to avoid eye contact. They look very distrusting. Many of these people do. And you notice a lack of people out on the street, except for very, very few that act as I described. That is until you reach what looks kind of like a market square, where across the street you can see the Twisted Moon Drop, but that's not where people are gathered. On one side of this market square, which is mostly empty, it looks like that's what it would be. It's a lot of big open space. Looks like market stalls would be set up here, but you see none. What you see instead is, against one of the walls, a large throng of people. All of them clambering over each other and shouting over each other very loudly. All of them reaching toward a figure. It almost reminds you kind of like what you saw with Sir Nick. This desperation. These people clawing towards something. And that's when you see it. There's a man. Very large man. But something's wrong with him, and then you look for a second and you see his head, or heads, rather, as he has many. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, maybe, that you can see. One larger one in the center, but the rest are small and branching off of his body. Mechanical armatures holding them in place. Every single one of them the same face. His body isn't standing there. It's built into the wall itself. He is affixed to the wall. And on his body, his arms, his many arms, is a very bright purple blazer. And in many of his, and you can hear from here, even over the crowd, some of the heads are singing songs into a radio microphone. Some of them are reading off news for the city. Some of them are selling these people their deepest desires and tossing things into the crowd for whatever little these people have left. Some of them not even holding out money, but holding out things, objects, bartering, trading, just wanting something better than what they have. All of them being promised something better. And the last few heads that aren't spitting news or music are spitting what is very clearly church propaganda. All of them into different microphones, all being broadcast somewhere in the city. You see a few people walk away, some of them going into the Twisted Moon Drop, and you found your destination. So, what do you all do?
Priorities.
You
How much
found
time has
it.
passed?
Since when? Just since entering the city?
Yeah.
Maybe 15 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah, not long. You are still a
Edna's
squirrel
gonna-
unless you don't want to be.
Edna's gonna jump down. She's gonna go find an alley and go back to being not a squirrel and come back.
Okay. Okay, easy enough. Lots of buildings, and you can do that.
Yeah. I only got like 15 minutes left of it anyways.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you are no longer Squirrel Edna, you are just terrifying Edna.
Yeah. Don't ask how I got in the city. You don't want to know.
So, you have your destination in front of you. I do want to note something. Seth, you specifically, you have good perception, so you would also see this figure I described. You can't really tell why you feel this way, but there's this very strong unease you feel looking at him. Like, obviously, he looks weird, but it's not just unease. You almost feel this fear you don't know where it comes from. Something about his physicality, it gives you... It's this itch at the base of your spine, like something is wrong. It's familiar, but not in a good way.
As soon as he catches the view of this guy, he's gonna start letting off this really low growl. But he's not gonna go anywhere. He's
I
kind of,
think I will
honestly, at
do,
this point, clinging to Encheiron.
I think I will do an insight check on that very odd figure. think I'd like to know if he. I'd like to check his vibes, see if he's just like. See if he believes anything he's like saying.
Okay, okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that for me.
If he's being genuine at all. I'm gonna put this dice away. It's not doing well. That one's better. That is I believe, a 25 to insight.
Okay. And you want to know, does he believe what he's saying? That's an interesting question to answer because yes and no. You can tell of the news he's spouting news, things that have happened. A new mayor to be elected at this time. A new shop front opening up, and they're tearing down an old one over here. The music is, of course, music. The propaganda, though, it's the things you would have heard living here. It's definitely telling people what to believe. But as for does he believe it? You get the sense that it's interesting. Let me roll something because how to describe this? You get the sense that what he is describing, he does believe. And as for the promises to these people of better things for their goods, that a little less so. The things he's handing out, he knows aren't that great, especially for the prices he's giving them out for. He's asking a bit too much, but at the end of the day, he doesn't seem bothered by this. I think, honestly, you may never have seen this man, but you would recognize the voice. There are speaker systems and things and radio broadcasting devices throughout the city. During your time living here, even if it was a while ago, you would know the voice, even if you've never seen him. And you would know, oh, this is the guy who did all that. Okay. Yeah.
Very cool. I think we should probably get to our destination. I start going towards that way and bringing the boy.
The boy. Okay. And so you go toward the tavern. As you make your way inside, it is pretty packed. There's a good number of people here, and you kind of got to squeeze your way in a little bit. As around the door, it's pretty crowded as people are getting seated and things like that, and figuring out where to sit. Some people looking around for friends of theirs and then rushing off as they see them. You see that there is a couple of the barmaids rushing about and getting different drinks and food for people. Some people playing games off in the corner. But you're here for a few people in particular, and you were given descriptions of what these people look like. So,
Yep.
One of you make a perception check looking for these people.
Do you want to take this one, Seth?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Can I help that?
I don't need the help.
Was it high?
It's a nat 20
It's a nat 20.
with a plus the 6,
yeah,
so
you're good.
26 total. Yeah, I'm good.
Sweet God. Okay. So you, despite your stature, which is short,
Damn.
you begin to kind of start to look around, and as people are moving, you catch glimpses of people on the other side of the room, and you're starting to look around. You look up at the bar. In the far left corner of the room, there's a table with, say, 4 individuals. One is very, very, very hard to miss, being a minotaur. Although a lot of minotaurs you'll see are the big, almost kind of brutish, wearing armor or leathers or something, looking like they're ready to fight. This one is sitting reading a book and wearing what looks like scholar's robes with some spectacles down kind of at the end of the snout. The other one is a large, large, large woman. She is definitely some half giant in there, but not pure half giant. There's a mix of something in there. She definitely looks like the type that would try to fuck your shit up. Wearing the leathers, and I'll say on her back is a large battle axe. The third one is honestly, if you picture a gladiator, that's what this guy looks like. He looks like your standard human gladiator. And the fourth one is also another studious looking individual, but he has papers laid out in front of him, slicked back hair, looks of elven descent. These are the people you're looking for. And specifically, Seth, as you would have been looking, the one with all the papers going through shit, that's the guy. That is specifically the guy you're looking for.
He's gonna kind of nudge in Chiron. They're over there.
Yes, of course. I will not muscle my way, but I will make my way through the crowd a little bit and find a seat to pull up to their table. A seat or one, two, three. A seat or four.
Okay.
A seat or three plus horse.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I will sit down. I will take out my handkerchief and cough into it and surreptitiously wipe away my very obviously false beard. And also, because I needed to cough, hello. I believe you were expecting us a little bit. We're the friends.
The man you would know to be Maximilian, he doesn't say a word. He looks toward his Minotaur friend and he gives a nod. And then he looks toward you and says, please do not resist. This will only take a moment. It's for our security. And you need to make a wisdom save, or you can choose to fail.
Before I
In Chiron,
either
all of
choose
us.
to resist or choose
just
to
in
fail,
Chiron.
can I insight check this guy to
You
see
may.
if he's like being? Oh, I don't need to roll a second one. That's a natural 20 for 28.
Okay. Definitely does not mean you any harm. You get the vibe. Is being genuine in terms of whatever's about to happen is for your or for their protection.
Then I will choose to fail.
Okay. You see the Minotaur figure leans forward slightly, and you hear a voice in your head, though it is not spoken. And they say, you may feel a slight pinch. And you know somebody is reading some of your thoughts. Kind of leans back in his seat, satisfied, looks at Max. No words are spoken. And after a moment, Max nods. So, you have a friend that needs assistance?
Yes, and we're friends of a friend. We also have some things other than that, but that is the reason we are here so quickly.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, if he sent you... It's the tent, correct? The space.
Yes.
Okay. There is one small problem. Leotris wasn't entirely correct. I wasn't the one who built it. I had no hand in its construction. However, I have studied it extensively, and I can attempt to repair it. It will take about a day. I am Not to toot my own horn, but I'm one of the foremost studiers of these types of things. So, if anyone could repair it in this godforsaken city, it is me. So, yes, I can attempt to repair it for you. Was that all you needed from me?
Oh, we are of some, it's a matter of some contention of us and the. I'm gonna check, make sure nobody's like listening. It's a, a matter of some contention between us and the church, and we were told you could procure us a safe place to stay for the time being.
Takes in a very deep breath. Yes, we can procure you some type of lodging for a time. Okay. So I believe we can trust you if Byron here, and he points to the Minotaur, if Byron thinks you can be trusted, which he does, then I will trust you as well. We have lodging. It's just outside the city walls. You can get papers on the way out so that you don't have to go through the queue every time. Makes it a little easier. We have lodging outside the city walls. It's a bit different, so don't be alarmed. But it's safe, and nobody has ever come looking for us there in the past couple decades.
If I can
This
point
is-
something out, if we have this little bit of a contention, as he puts it, how exactly are we supposed to get papers?
I can assist with that. Work a bit of magic.
This is also for my sake. I have some people that I'd rather the church not leverage against me. And would you be able to procure them safe passage as well?
Yes, I can do so. These people, they're close and dear to you?
Yes, my family, they live in the city.
All right. And then, yes. So I'll need papers for each of you. Is there anyone unaccounted for? Anyone who's not here?
Yes. Well,
Well,
besides
there's
our
the person in the tent.
Good point. I'll
And
make
Schrodinger's
sure I get
Ulrich.
one for them. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Ulrich will both get papers and not get papers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll get that for you. Technically, you could just go through the queue every time and skip the need for it. However, that does increase the risk of you needing to talk to the guard and increases the risk of getting caught. So this is the best way to go about it.
Oh, I'm terribly rude. In Chiron Loradrian.
Maximilian, this is Byron, I've already mentioned, and my other two compatriots, that is Samantha and Marcus.
Yes, I gathered as such.
And the rest of you. Fake names are okay. I can understand not wanting to give out your actual name so willingly.
I am Edna.
You are very large, Edna. You give
Uh,
Samantha here a run for her money.
I could give her a run for something else if she likes.
Samantha grins. I am taken, darling. No, thank you. And looks over toward Marcus.
Lucky you.
He's a base of work. So Edna, and what about the other two of you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Names.
yeah.
Ah,
Nay, we have
yeah.
names.
You have names.
Sad
They could
names.
be fake. You could come up with a fake name. This could have repercussions. You don't know.
Yeah, I'm good.
No name given. He will write down.
No,
One
no,
name.
He'll write down non given. Got it.
no, 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 no. It's happening.
Sapling. All right. Well, good to know. And the last of you here, looking towards Seth. If you think I can't be trusted, that's a wise thought to have. Don't trust anyone in this city. But I'm offering you safe passage, place to stay, and to help your friend not suffocate to death.
Seth.
Nice to meet all of you. Now, I best begin my business. I'll get the papers secured. Actually, Marcus, you go do that. And he just kind of waves at Marcus, and Marcus is like, oh, fuck you, and gets up and walks out the door.
Oh.
You do note, sun has started to fully get into the sky at this point. It's just after 9. You do note Marcus kind of starts to walk out the door, stops for a second, grabs his coat, puts his hood up, walks out the door.
Can I look at the papers and try to parse what is on them?
Oh, as far as like the papers that are for
Yeah.
passage, those are getting
No,
fetched.
the Maximilian papers, the ones that he's
Maximilian
reading.
papers. Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I get to do this with advantage. Hooray!
Hell yeah.
Pallid Elf Ancestry. The advantage didn't really help. It helped a little bit, but not a very good roll. That's an 8.
An 8. Okay. I'm gonna say with an 8, you look at them and you notice that they are some type of engineering documentation, but exactly what for, you're not entirely positive. But yeah, it does kind of catch you looking, and it's like, yes, a little side project of mine. You'll get to see a little bit of it once we get to the lodging. It's immense. Honestly, does the name, for any of you, does the name Varys Mullane mean anything?
I can't. Can I make a history check on that
You
name?
could make a history check, yes.
Because I definitely lived in his city.
Yes, you did.
I do need to retire this dice. That's a 6. I don't remember anything. I don't believe it rings a bell.
That's okay. These are some of his old notes for a thing that you'll see very soon. We call it Valve. That's what it calls itself, actually. It's docile, I promise. In fact, it's kept us alive more than many other things. So, yes, I'm trying to piece together exactly how it works, but I'm more specialized in the, and he says this part very quiet, the arcane, less so in the mechanical, so I'm doing my best.
Well, if you need help of someone who's also more experienced in a similar field, I can lend my mind to it.
Wouldn't hurt. But for now, and he's going to gather all of his things together, I'm going to get a drink and some food, and then while we wait for Marcus to get back, I suggest you find something to do. Probably going to take about an hour, and then we'll go gather your family, or you could do that now, technically, up to you. Um, and then I'll lead you to our lodging.
Right. We have some time, so
Yeah. You have about an
Hmm.
hour if there's anything any of you wish to do. The city is yours.
I believe someone wanted time to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
Also, I do say it's an hour, but you could take more than that. That's just how long it'll take for them to get what they need. So take as much time as you need or as want.
Is there probably is. Is there a lot of people here?
In this space right now, very crowded. You
Yeah.
guys were kind of tucked in a
Oh,
corner where there
yeah.
wasn't a ton, but like this place is packed.
Maybe not the best place for weird
Well,
little conversations.
I
I
will note.
suppose
Oh, sorry. I was gonna note the exterior of the building and most of that square is very empty. Um, and there are like alleyways and such if it needs to be private. Um,
Would you
the
like to
only
be dragged
place.
into an alleyway?
I I suppose if nobody is else has something to do, we could go retrieve my parents, and we can walk and talk on the way.
I have a thing I want to do, and it'd be really funny if Chiron does get dragged, because that would leave Seth alone,
Okay,
giving him
so
the chance to do the thing.
I
Oh
suppose
God.
I'm getting dragged outside.
Okay. Well, so you get dragged outside into an alley. Is that correct? You're getting dragged into an alley.
Metaphorically speaking, yes. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
okay.
grab you by your shirt collar again and drag you to an
Again.
alley. It's just gonna be more of a, come here.
Get over here.
Still shady, but less violent.
What
Okay.
is it?
Uh, there. I know there's not a lot of people here, but can I double check anyway?
That's a great idea. Go ahead and roll perception check.
The paranoid
Oh
worm.
boy,
Uh-huh.
what was that?
The paranoid worm.
That is another 19. Hooray!
Okay.
And I used the right dice this time.
You don't see anybody.
Now, why would you say that like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. You don't see anybody.
Ah, no, that's great. Okay. um, so bad at this. um, okay, so, uh, you hear this all the time, but could we ask a favor of you?
I suppose it won't do any harm. We are allies, or allies.
Yeah, something like that. All right. So, how to put this elegantly? Shit's fucked. Truthfully, it's been a while since the horse has been around. Let's get that out of the way. That's cool. Approximately whoa, whoa. Since a bit before we left Deathfall, was it? So that's a thing. Um do you wanna do the filling in of all the shit we got up to?
Yes, of course. There is well, there's the whole thing with Seedling and the people, and there's the squirrel and our other new ally, the other squirrel at the checkpoint, but she's not a squirrel now. And I suppose I can give him the rundown.
All right, yeah, thanks. Um, but ugh, we don't know when the best time to bring him back even would be. Do you think now would be not well? Do you think now would be a good time, or a bit later, maybe tomorrow.
I think that Seedling should come back to his friend. So before then, definitely. And I
Okay.
know that he is excited to meet my family. So uh, it's at your discretion, really. Sooner rather than later. It's preferred for me, of course, but
Well, all right, that's fair. We'll just get that done here in a second. But before that, could you, what we found out about Boulder, could you keep that hush for just a little bit? It'd just be nice for Seedling to come back and him and Sapling to have a moment to have some peace before that information is shared.
all right, of course.
All right. Well, shall we?
Uh, we shall.
We were bid.
Okay.
Yay. That just takes a second. It kind of comes back. It's like a little repowering. Beep boop, beep boop.
Mhm.
Hi. Whoa, it's cold. It's dark. Oh, my hair is in my face. Why is my hair in my face?
Oh.
Why is my braid down?
There's a lot to catch you up on. I can do it inside here. I point to the tavern. It's warmer.
Oh, sure.
And I will go back into the tavern and recap our adventures for the good horse here, omitting the
Yay!
boulder stuff thing.
All right. Horse is all caught up. How's the horse taking it?
Uh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. Okay. Perfect. Seth, what did you want to do while you're alone? Well, mostly alone. You're not totally alone, but like father is not there.
His father got taken, and he got confused and was like, "Shit, now what?" Well, he decides to do something he feels is stupid, but he's still going to do it. That man that is somewhat familiar, he wants to investigate that because it's familiar and not in a good way, and he wants to know why.
Okay. All right, so you go and say hi to the man. What do? You see him, he's still there, built into the wall itself.
Still a lot of people around him, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. It's dozens and dozens of people just clambering and almost fighting each other to get closer.
He's not going to fight people to get closer, but he's just trying to. What he's going to do is look around himself and find a vantage point to get a better view because, again, he's short. A lot of people are not.
Okay. Better vantage point, like, are you trying to get on top of a building? Like, anywhere?
Anywhere that would get him a better view of that guy.
There is a shorter, squatter little hovel that's not right next to him, but you can get closer and get a good view of him.
Then he'll find a way to climb on that shit.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
17. It was acrobatics, by the way.
Okay. So you get up there, clamber up on top of the building. It's maybe 20 feet off the ground, so you're a little bit in the air, but like you can get a good view from here. What are you wanting to see? Just anything?
He's trying to understand what's familiar to him.
Okay, you could either do a history check or a investigation check. Investigation would give you more details about the physicality, where history, it would be about what you remember.
We're going to do investigation. It doesn't matter either way personally because I have a no plus to either of them, but we're going to do that.
Gonna do investigation? Okay.
16.
Okay. So I'm going to describe kind of what you see during this time and what details you pick out. So, first off, the main torso and larger head is addressing the crowd directly, talking to them. He has his two arms outstretched. Again, every head seems to have at least one arm. They don't look like small, suited arms. When I say arm, they are purely clawed hands, metal sort of endoskeleton holding some type of microphone or built into the hand itself. That's broadcasting somewhere. Many of them addressing the whatever media is out there throughout the city and the different radio stations. He is the radio stations in this city, and you gather that very quickly. As for the main middle self, his main body, it's addressing the crowd and speaking to them. Oh, you've got to have it, you need this, I have this for you. If you need this, I have this, but you over there, I can sell this to you for a low price of 1 copper, maybe, if you have that. If not, I can trade you left finger index. How does that sound? And somebody takes a knife, chops off their own finger to sell to him for whatever it is. It's such a blur of motion. It happens so quickly, and you're looking at him. You see that underneath and throughout his body, it's a mix of what looks like organic, but it's tubing. It's wiring. It's metal. The parts you see are not flesh. There might be some in there, but you don't see any. This man appears, except for his skin, to be entirely mechanical. And what's familiar about that to you is some parts of it look reminiscent of one of the things you saw when you were with the doctor. It's not the same, but the way the clawed hands grip the objects, it feels very, very much like the thing you saw when you would be being torn apart. The things that would grab your leg and rip it off. Or, this is a little gross, I'm sorry, give you a warning, that peel the skin back to access the internal organs. It's that type of stuff. At that point, as you're watching, he says, all right, everybody, closing up shop for the night. I have places to be. And he is going to condense his body and slink into the hole in the wall that he was inhabiting. And then a hatch is going to shut. And then he's gone. And the crowd fucking loses it. And the people who got objects, who stuck around because of greed, possibly, trying to get more, attacked by the people who had nothing. And he's gone. So what do you do?
The building that he was somewhat part of.
Yeah.
Is it just straight brick? Is there entrances, exits?
It's a brick, and the hatch that he went through closed. It's a metal hatch that you can now see that he's out of the way. There's like the metal border, the hatch doors that have closed, and then the rest of the wall is entirely brick and mortar. And it looks like that building in particular, there's no identification on this side. It looks like the side of a building where there's just nothing there. But kind of peeking, you can see it looks like from the outside, including where he slinked into, there are windows on the other side of the building that you can see. It looks like some residential building, like a large apartment complex.
He's gonna kind of find his way over that way and see if there's anything he can see from the window.
Make a perception check. Going to a window near where he went in, where his body slinked in.
22.
You look through the window and very clearly, the room you're looking into is right next to where this hatch is. That hatch should lead into this room. All you see is a happy couple dancing to music on a record player. No hatch on the wall that it should be from the inside. A furnished apartment.
With that, he'd head back to the others.
Okay. You head back, and that didn't take very long. Probably about the same amount of time as the conversation. And so you see in Chiron and Sapling have arrived back, and then you enter as well. And so you're all back in the tavern. Is there anything else anybody wants to do? Any conversations? Any things you wish? If not, we'll skip towards the arrival of Marcus. Yes.
Is Bubbles still here with us?
He is. He's kind of just chilling on the table and seems to be just kind of like looking at these new people with distrust.
We're in a tavern, right?
You're in a tavern, yeah.
Bubbles. Have you ever had alcohol before?
Alcohol? I don't think I've had alcohol before, no.
Would you like to try some? Just a little bit.
Give it a try, yeah.
Okay, Edna's gonna walk over to the counter. Hello, bartender. I have a question.
This half-elven woman kind of sidles up. Yeah, what can I get you?
Do you have like a tiny, very small cup? You can put little less than shot in.
I mean, I can like fill a shot glass half the way up.
That will work, thank you. And I'll take a
Sure.
full cup myself. Mead and both.
Oh, okay. And she'll grab and pour the smallest amount, like again, like maybe even a little under half a shot, into this glass, puts it down, and for yours, fills it up, hands them both to you. Honestly, I'm not even gonna charge you for the half a shot, and that'll be 2 copper. Do you want me
And
to
I'll
start
hand
a
over
tab?
a copper. No,
Okay.
no, one is good. Too early in the day to drink too much.
Fair enough. I don't judge. And takes the copper and and you have your bubbles shot.
Okay, and I was gonna walk back over to Bubbles. Okay, Bubbles. Here's alcohol.
Ah,
Drink it a little slow, not all in one gulp. Do not watch me. I set a bad example.
you set bad example. All right, got it. And gonna grab it and gives it a sniff. Smells kind of sweet, honestly. And
It is.
sips it, tastes it. It's that's quite something, isn't it? That's,
Give it about You should drink all of it and give it about 15 minutes and tell me how you feel.
Are you poisoning me?
A little bit. It's fun poison, don't worry.
And just gonna like slowly just get through it. Every drink is like drinks another sips another bit of it, just
And it's
And-
gonna just like go down, just down hers.
okay. Go ahead and make me a con save. He's gonna do the same. All right, yeah, that tracks.
I got a 6.
Got a 2. Oh wait, no,
I got the
3. I forgot the
I got the
plus.
squirrel drunk, guys. I did
Yeah.
it.
And you are feeling a little tipsy. You got like with a 6, that is a level of drunkenness. So like you're starting to feel a buzz coming on.
Oh my. Well, I'm certainly feeling something. How are you feeling, Bubbles?
Who the fuck are you again?
I'm Edna. We found you side. You tried to attack us. You come from other side of continent.
I was gonna kick the fuck out that fish.
Oh yes, you almost did. It was very funny.
Good times. Good times.
Excellent times.
I want another.
No,
Fuck you say to me?
I say no. You want to fight? I kill squirrel like you in swing of hammer. We no fight. I do not want to hurt you.
Puts the finger, just points in your direction. They ain't no fucking squirrels like me. Fine.
Would you look? We can have more later.
Promise.
Promise. As much as you want later. Well, maybe not as much as you want, but more later. Again, it is technically poison. Fun poison, but you might die.
I can take it.
I've never... yes, but I've never seen squirrel drink alcohol. How good is your liver?
What the fuck's a liver?
That answers my question. No more right now. Anyways. Look around you. Do you see all the havoc you could be wreaking? Against all these poor people who have no idea what you can do?
Yeah.
Bubbles, no one here's seen a talking squirrel. And they might be drunk enough to think they're hallucinating.
I like you.
Okay, how do you want to do this? I can take you to tables, or you can go to tables by yourself. I'm going with you no matter what.
No, you take me to tables. I don't know if I can walk straight.
And he's gonna put her hands out. Get on my hands.
He just clambers up on your hands, yeah.
Excellent. And just gonna walk over to the nearest table.
Okay.
Hello. I'm sure you have noticed me talking to this squirrel. Bubbles, do you have anything to say to these people?
Your faces look funny. And the people just kind of like, there's this moment of, hey, and then, what? They all like lean forward. And like the nearest one goes, say something again, little squirrel. Bubbles is like, your faces look funny, bitch. They're just kind of like, where did you find this squirrel?
He come from the other side of the continent. I do not know where. He approached my group, trying to murder one of the people I travel with, for this person royally pissed him off. The squirrel is the most badass squirrel you'll ever see in your life.
Bubbles just like, don't you fucking know it.
Please, introduce yourself. Tell them your name.
I need to roll a thing. Squirrel constitution is not great, by the way. It's real bad. Okay. So Bubbles is going to very sloppily, but not in a threatening way, kind of the sword off the back and holds it in kind of like a ceremonial way, gives a bow. My name is Bubbles. I come from a long line of squirrels who kick ass. Or that's what would have happened. What actually happens is Bubbles slings it off the back, it almost hits you in the finger, which would have hurt, and then falls flat on his face and mumbles into your palm, Bubbles.
Well, you see, giving squirrel alcohol was a bad idea. A squirrel is not doing okay. I'm going to take. This is Bubbles. I'm going to take Bubbles and nurse him back to health for a little bit. You all, I just have a great honor. I hope you have a great day. And then just going to go somewhere private.
Okay. You can find like a spot where there isn't many people. Some of the people are starting to clear out at this point because it's been a few minutes. It's
Mhm.
been like 15 minutes. By the way, the groups of you that were doing things, you'd be back at
Does
this
Edna
point.
know? Does Edna know what squirrels like to eat? Can I do a survival check for this?
Yeah, go ahead and do a survival check. See if you know what
Cool.
squirrels like to eat. That or animal handling, whichever you prefer.
Let's do animal handling.
Okay.
Sounds better. That's what, wisdom, right? It's an 18.
18. I would say like you would know like nuts, berries, things like that. Bubbles has also on the road been shown to eat like little bits of jerky, but it's usually like if he has nothing else.
Does Bubble seem to have any food on him right now?
He has a little pack which you've seen him get food out of before.
Okay,
So-
I'm gonna look in
yeah.
the pack and see if there's anything in there, and I'm gonna make him eat.
Okay. So you peel open the little thing flap for the sack and you start looking inside. There are like a few little like crushed up nuts and stuff. For you it'd be like real small, but for him it's pretty good size.
Well, and
He
it's gonna
sees you
pull out,
looking. Oh, what, say again?
and it's gonna pull out a couple pieces. Eat.
Kinda
It'll
like-
taste better. It'll taste better than usual. Trust me.
Persuasion check. You're trying to convince a drunk person to do something. Persuasion check.
What's a 0?
You got a
Not
0.
1 minus 1.
He's like, "Fuck you! I thinking tell me what to do? No, nah.
Okay,
you
don't
wouldn't.
eat then. Don't eat then. Gosh, I do one thing to help.
No, give it here. Now I want to eat something. You're telling me not to eat. Give it here."
And let them take it.
Eats it. It's like, those taste pretty good. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
You're welcome. I know it's difficult to believe me sometimes. I understand.
Just kind of like plops down, like just kind of sits down cross-legged, sword next to him. You're really nice to me. Just like starts like crying, just like, "You're so nice."
You're you're welcome. You're a very interesting person. Squirrel.
Yeah.
Not sure how to describe, but I like you. And I also actively poisoned you, and I'm trying to make sure you're okay.
Are we friends?
I think we're friends. Friends poison each other.
I've never had a friend before.
Well, you have one now. Don't you forget it.
I won't. I'm gonna lay right here for a second.
It's okay. You can go to sleep for a little bit if you need to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. And he just immediately just falls on his side and just starts snoring.
Good for Bubbles. Take
Bubbles
a
had
nap.
a great time.
Bubbles needs a nap.
He nap right here. He go nap right here.
Okay. I think I'm good.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Does this
Oh.
place do anything to go?
Oh, like meals to go and stuff? Yeah. I would say they have like they could make you some food to go.
Yay!
Hell yeah. I think that'd run you back like 5 copper for like a meal to go.
Okay.
Okay. So, a little bit of time passes. These things happen. Bubbles takes his nap as he needs. But after a little bit, a little earlier than expected, The man known as Marcus walks back in, puts his coat back on the rack, and you see him holding a um, stack of papers folded together. And he walks over and hands them over to Max. And when you all gather back over, which he would wave you down, letting you know they're there. When you all gather back together over there, Max looks at you guys and says, "So we have the papers. At this point, we just need your parents, and then we can get going. Or we can go now and get them later. It really makes no difference."
Let's gather them now. I'm excited to see them. It's been a while.
Well, we'll be waiting. I suppose we can wait for you near the eastern gate. That's probably the best place to meet. That's where we'll be exiting. We'll be just inside.
All right, we will meet you there.
All right. And so, with that, you guys get moving. All of you that had not been out and seen this before would notice that the man in the wall is gone, leaving a crowd of fighting people. But
It looks fun.
We are busy.
I know. I'm just making an observation. Maybe later.
all right, and so you begin to make your way towards. There it is. Towards where your parents live, which not a bad part of town, by any means. It does take you about 15 minutes from where you currently would be, and you see the gradual's not the word, a very stark transition between districts. You cross over from where you currently were into this other pretty nice region, all things considered. And you begin to look. Now, I don't think I need to have you make a check. I think you'd know where they would be. So, you kind of just start making your way through the streets that are familiar. Streets that you would have seen many a time. Although, again, they change. They rearrange. So while it is different, it feels the same. You're used to the change. And so, yeah, there we go. Making your way through. Trying to see here if there's anything of note that would be along your path. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Nothing really along your path that I think is of noting, at least not here. But you do eventually reach the home where you know your parents to live. Doors closed, curtains currently drawn.
I am going to do a little knock on the door.
Okay. So you knock on the door, the anticipation building. After a moment, you hear a couple clicks of locks being taken off, and the door opens, and immediately you are hit by the smell of something that was cooking. It smells something fresh, something herbaceous. And a man stands before you, this being, to be your father. He's an elven man, and he kind of his eyes adjusting to the morning light for a moment and sees your group, then looks at you and goes, "Oh, hello."
Yes, sorry that I didn't sorry that I didn't notify you that I was coming. A lot has happened recently.
Well, fair. Welcome. Do you want to come in?
Oh, yes, yes.
And opens the door for all of you to make your way in. It's for the taller of you. You have to duck a little bit. But the home is very quaint. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very cozy. Um, and right now you're entering. There's sort of the living room, but you can see in the back there's the kitchen. You can see something in a pot steaming. Um, and there's a couple places for people to sit. A couple armchairs and the couch, and motions all of you. Sit. I can put on some tea or something if you'd like.
Oh, that would be lovely. We have a lot to catch up on. We're actually here because I have. I'll explain while we chat.
Yes. And is gonna just rush off and start grabbing things, getting things together. Um, seems in a very good mood, which, it wasn't always the case. Sometimes, life and everything and tiring from work, but seems in a good mood, especially happy to see you. And grabs things, gets things together, and comes out. So, what have you been up to?
Well, well, as you know, I was sent to guard this dignitary to New Hope Port. This is some of the people who I have. Well, one of them was in that group, and we picked up these two on the way. Um,
Huh.
we have come to some uh, an altercation of sorts with some very powerful organization, and really, I'm here to bring you and Mother to a safer place so that you can't, so that they won't use you to get to me, of course.
Oh, mood turns a little sour and is like, I see. Well, we can pack up. Your mother is slowing down, truthfully, but we can make it. You say powerful organization. Who would be this organization?
That would be the church.
Eyes kind of go wide. The church. You're at odds with the. What happened? I thought you were.
I am still a man of faith. I believe that Hydros is a very good god, but one of the people we were helping was a fugitive, and she was a nice person. She was lovely, but uh, we were protecting her, and now they are looking for us as well.
Just kind of nods. Oh, that's not good at all. Okay, well, if you believe we could be in some kind of danger, I suppose we should come with you. I'll go gather her.
Yes. I should introduce everybody. This is
Yes.
I this is Sapling. This is Edna. Um, the squirrel is Bubbles. And this I will gesture to. This is Seth. He is Seth. This is my father. And for context, he doesn't
Uh-huh.
look all that much older than me. He looks a
No.
little older than me, but not all that much.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
It's nice to meet all of you. I should probably get
So nice to meet you.
Oh, it's wonderful to meet all of you. Um, Sadly, I wish it was under better circumstances. Apparently,
Uh,
um, there will be
yes,
better
well,
times, though.
there will be time for good.
All right. Well, let me go gather your mother. She's losing a bit of her sight, so if she has trouble seeing, you may. Yes, it might need a second to recognize you. Well, and with that is going to stand and is going to make a way upstairs. And again, yeah, that's a good point. Doesn't look all that much older than you. But who walks down the stairs with him after about a minute is very old dwarven woman. With hands you can tell have seen work. And in Chiron you would know these are the hands of a leather worker, and a good one at that. And so they make their way down, and he helps her down, and she takes a second and kind of looks at you, and you can see she's wearing glasses, and she kind of looks at you. And Chiron, is that you?
Yes, it's me. I've come to visit.
Oh, well, I was told we're about to leave. Is that right?
Oh, yes, we're about to leave.
All right. Well, should we take things with us? Are we coming
Oh,
back?
yes, you should probably take some things with you. I can help you gather your things.
I'd appreciate that. And your father will also help pack some things. And while things are being packed, this woman will kind of sit in one of the chairs and look at the rest of you. And it just kind of makes some like idle conversation. Kind of like, so how'd you meet? How'd you meet each other? Looking toward none of you in particular, just kind of like, how'd you all meet?
Hmm.
Looks
I got
toward
roped
Sapling.
in with the group by a random authority figure, and I stuck around because they were cute.
Oh, that's so nice.
They are very nice.
Oh, and looking towards Sapling. You must be so cramped in here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's no trouble. It's I'm used to it, honestly.
All right. Well, oh, I haven't been out of the house in a little while. It's been, oh, I don't know. I don't remember. At about that time, you've got like a bunch of stuff packed up, the essentials mainly, with the
Yeah.
bags that they have, and father looks to you and says, "So, where exactly are we going? Do you have any information on this?"
Oh, somewhere safe. We're going to meet some people at the East Gate who will take us to a safe place.
Okay, all right. Probably some things that I'll have to catch you up on as well. Things have changed a lot around here, even in just the short time you were away.
As things do here.
As they do. At this point, you all gather up the things and uh, help help excuse me, help Mama I'm struggled with the last name. Hold on. Laradrian. Yes, Laradrian. There we go. My brain couldn't wrap around it, and so I tried to say it, and it was like, la 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 la. That is not how that is said. Okay. But, help her do her feed, and she, um,
I'd
grabs
like
kind
to
of like,
offer her a ride.
perfect. She's like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to impose.
Oh no, it's fine. You'll weigh like a feather. It's okay.
All right. And, with some help, gets up and just kind of like starts looking around. Very tall up here.
Yeah. Change of pace.
Change of pace. Looks over towards Seth and is like, have you ever been up here? You're about as tall as I am. I guess you'd know what it feels like.
I don't really need the horse to travel. I tend
Yes,
to be a
he's
little faster, in fact.
Oh, I don't know how. I mean, me and my little legs can barely get anywhere.
he's quite he's very capable. He's quite amazing. I
Well, you seem just lovely. Looking towards Seth, you seem just lovely.
Don't worry, we won't go too fast, even though this one might try.
All right.
he, he doesn't usually run too far. He
Well, at
oh
this
well.
point, your father will kind of grab the bags and everything. He's like, well, lead on then.
Yes, I will make sure that everything is in order in this house before we leave. Make sure the stove is off and make sure everything's all right, all in its place. I want to make sure everything looks perfect before we leave.
Okay, so you take a couple minutes, get everything and everything ready, and your father, before leaving, does grab some of the food and like packages it away to go and everything, and it's like, I worked on it, I might as well eat it, and, gets it all packed away. There's enough for everybody. Um, and yeah, get the house all ready to go, and he kind of takes one last look at the house and then shuts and locks the door. All right, well, once we get to the East Gate, meet your friends. Uh, they'll take us somewhere safe. I mean, it's not. That's a feeling I didn't think would come back. Well, all right. Well, we'll be safe. And he's kind of talking to himself as much to you, saying we'll be safe.
We we'll be safe there.
All right. And so you begin to walk. Now you would know where the East Gate is, as do they. And so you lead your way there. This is where I'm going to give a legitimate kind of warning, because there's a thing in this city where prisoners go. The church is pretty bad, and prisons weren't quite enough. So as you walk, you begin to see barbed wire fences surrounding an entire district of the city. one that you pass by. There are buildings on the inside of this. It was just an entire district that has been barbed off, with watchtowers and guards every so often. This you would know, and you would have seen during your time here. This is one of the camps where they send magic users. It is the place that they stay while awaiting trial. Now, what people say, and what the church tells everybody, is that these are, and honestly, I think it's reasonable if you never made your way down there, which is up to you if your character ever would have.
I think I probably would have
Probably would
because
have.
of
Okay.
my job and my entire thing.
Yeah. That's fair. Then you would definitely know what people are often told is that these are people's homes. People just live here basically on house arrest until their trial date. It's just house arrest. They can't leave. It's just so that they don't try to run or they don't harm anybody with the magic that they were often arrested for. The truth of it is, it is a large shanty town, essentially, or half-destroyed, abandoned homes that people aren't really allowed to even take advantage of. There are jobs that they work, often manufacturing, that they work until their trial date, which is sometimes pushed back and back and back. That's something you would have seen a lot of, is their trial dates often would be pushed months past when they were supposed to. And it's oftentimes because they were just here. I think there actually would be seeing this place would bring a memory back to you. You had a client you were supposed to represent. And they never made it to that trial date. Because one day, a large protest was held outside of this very district, past a gate that you are currently walking past. And you remember that client of yours, who had been there waiting his trial, waiting for you to come talk to him for this trial, this protest was a bloodbath. People were protesting outside, magic users protesting outside, trying to get their fellows released. Every single one of them was gunned down. And some of the prisoners, including your client, who was taking the advantage of that, taking it as a chance to escape, didn't make it 10 feet. And you remember being called because he had no family. But you'd seen him, you'd talked to him. You were the one who had to identify the body. And so as you walk past those steps, you remember exactly where he was. 5 steps, 2 feet to the left.
I keep walking.
So you keep walking. The armed guards keeping a very close eye on all of you as you go past. You eventually make your way to the east gate where you see the 4 people who are here to help. Max, being at the front, gives you a small wave. And as you approach, says, glad you were able to find us all right. We have your papers here, and hands them out to each of you. Just, if they try to stop us, let me do the talking. I haven't had trouble thus far, though. And so he leads you toward the east gate. And so you see guards gathered. This seems less heavily guarded than the one you came through. However, it is still watched very closely. The gate is open, simply just a few guards in front, maybe 3, actively standing there. And as you approach, they ask to see papers, which I assume you all show. And you are let past. Past this, you don't see farmland or any of that. What you see is trees. You see trees almost touching the wall, all the way up to the wall, which for the security of a city is not all that great. But it's almost this oppressive force, this tree line. And there's just this eerie feeling you get as you begin to walk out of the city walls. But regardless, you're led down the path. The sun almost entirely blotted out by the tree cover. And you start to walk. And Max looks to all of you. That went about as well as it could. Now we have about a maybe 20-minute walk. So hope you brought okay shoes for walking. Though I suppose that's how most of you would have gotten here, so you should be okay. And with that, you continue your walk. Anything you want to do or say or anything on your way?
I don't want to say anything, but I will I will walk next to Sapling and hold my mother's hand while we go.
Okay. And she just
Aw.
smiles down, just gives you kind of like this big beaming smile. And seems happy to be out and about. So, you make your way, and eventually you come to a decently large clearing and see something strange. You don't see a cabin. You don't see a house. You don't see what may have been expected. You see a tall building that you could not see through the tree line. It's maybe, I say large, it's maybe 5 stories. So it's tall, but nowhere near the spires of Burmsley. And there's pavement and asphalt, but it's cut into the grass in a weird way, and it's elevated slightly off the ground like it was placed there. And you see on the side of the building, there's a street sign. Kingsport Avenue. And Max looks and says, this is Valve, a section of the city of Kingsport. Very much, if you hear a voice over the speakers, do not be alarmed. That is Valve. They are a... How did they describe themselves? Virtual autonomous something. They're a intelligence of a sort, like a automaton that you would see walking the streets, but on a larger scale. It's, for all of you, it's about the size of a city block. When I say it's large, the area is about the size of a city block with this single building built on top. Most of this is empty space. But it's pretty decent in size. And kind of looks at you and says, I don't know if any of you were alive or remember during Kingsport's fall. There were many people who, well, had their section of city that they lived in get up and walk away. This is one of those. We found it. Although this one was still there in the ruins. Don't ask us how we got into the ruins. We did. That was many years ago. This was still there. Never left. So. There's one more member of our group that I suppose you should meet. He has been here. He's been working on something for a little while. Follow me. We'll show you your quarters on the way. And so they have a sort of ramp that leads up into the cracked street and starts heading toward the building. Inside, it's very much a mix of what furniture they've put in there and also the furniture that was there before. It looks like the base of this floor where you are was like a department store. that has been entirely stripped of any goods and is now just using shelving for meats and drying jerkies and things like that. But inside, you see there's one other gentleman wearing sort of long bluish robes, horns curling back, a tiefling with sort of bluish skin. He turns and gives a very flat face, no real expression, looks not upset that you're walking into this space, but just looks like he's watching all of you. And Max says, this is Felicity. He's the other member of our group. So now you've met the whole gang. At this point, your quarters are going to be on the second floor. You can take the stairs over there to get up. Some of you may have to share, but you're welcome to. You're welcome to stay in any of the rooms other than the ones that are marked. So, welcome to our humble abode. Breakfast is usually around 6 a.m. However, if you don't get up that early, there will always be some left over. So,
This is so cool.
by the way, if you wish it to be, this could be your bastion. Or
I
you can
personally
choose
think
another
that
location.
I think this location would be really fun. I like the moving castle.
It does have rules for how movement works as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yes, I will we'll work on that. But yeah, this is the base for your bastion.
If I may point out, it is past break time.
Yes, by a couple minutes. We'll go ahead and take our break now that you've gotten to. I think that's a good stopping point for right now, and then we'll get back after break.
We've gotten to
Continuing from there.
Valve.
You've gotten to Valve. All right, break time. Be back. Alright, so we're back. Okay. We got food. Some of us got food, got drinks, got the will to live somewhat.
I got a full meal. Sorry.
Hell, well, same actually. um, but, yeah. So you guys arrived at Val, which is the city block from Kingsport in the middle of this forest, where you'll be staying for the time being. As you all gather, the figure you were told is Felicity just kind of gives you all a polite nod and goes back to what they were doing, which seems to be, at this point, poring over what look like letters of some kind. After about a moment, you hear a voice coming from kind of all around you that says, "Hello, I am Valve. I am here to be your..." And there's like a long pause. "Home for the time being. If there's anything I can assist you with, do not hesitate to ask." And Max just kind of looks at you, looking very tired. "They are lovely. But they're useful and helpful. So that's what it is. I have a study on the upper floor. That's where you can usually find me. Byron is usually... Honestly, I don't really know what Byron does most of the time. He kind of is everywhere. We do have a fighting pit on one of the lower levels. That is where Sam and Marcus often spar. Just don't go between later hours. I made that mistake a couple times. So, make it a home for the time that you're here, however long that may be. Again, your rooms are on the second floor. Most of the other floors just contain various equipments. I do have some alchemical equipment on the third floor. Don't blow anything up. And so, the place is yours. You have some downtime if you would like to use it.
Yeah, phone time.
Downtime.
Yeah, downtime. We also, in all technicality, we could... I gotta grab my rule book, which is down on the floor. We could take what would be considered a bastion turn, which would allow you to do some unique things. I can grab the rules.
Oh,
I do want to have an actual conversation with a couple of people.
This
That
could,
is
yeah,
good.
that can
Some
happen at the
point.
same time as all of this. If you guys do decide to do so, like a bastion turn, you can do that, because a bastion turn basically would take an amount of time depending on what you do, and so
I already
you
know
can do
what things
anything.
are in my bastion or my part of the bastion.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm getting the
already,
thing up. Because yeah, you planned a lot of that and you sent it to me. Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Now, I want to make it clear this is optional. If you don't want anything like that, you don't have to. A bastion will give everybody some passive benefit. But basically a bastion, you can have a section of it that is dedicated to you, that you either construct or repurpose something else to be, and that will give you specifically some benefits. I'm trying to find out what fucking page it's on. There we go. Okay. 332. I have the actual physical book in front of me. So I have to flip the pages. No, not 322. 332. Okay. So, let's see. Now, bastion turns can happen when you guys are not physically there, but I figure since you're there, we'll go ahead and do one now. So, let me go through here. Oh, actually, probably, I think I found somewhere online you can actually, like, make a physical map for something. I think I might do that. Let me read here. So actually, because this place does come pre-built with a few things, let me get back to your stuff that you wanted for your bastion, though. Trying to find where that was.
It is. I will reply to the message.
Oh, I found that. I'm looking for, because one of the things here, officer whatever. Okay. Okay. So a cramped study and a rooming dining room. That is something that I think it would be reasonable to be here as some type of study that you could make use of. So I'll actually tell you kind of what's here in terms of special facilities, because this place does come already with a couple. There's an arcane study, which what it says here is it allows you to basically you can craft certain things there. Let's see what else we would have. There's an armory. What's this here? Nobody here is particularly religious, so there wouldn't be a sanctuary. There would be a workshop. So workshop and arcane study and armory would be the 3 special facilities that this comes with already. Basically, to sum up, all that really does is you can, on a bastion turn, give special orders to your hirelings, which these 4 would be considered that for this. It essentially allows you to tell them what to do. Now, for craft, they can craft certain things for you that normally you would have to go buy. And the armory you can trade. So, for example, the trade really doesn't do anything for you in this case. Where that would apply is if you had like a fort that you were trying to defend, it would allow you to stock up on munitions so that if a random attack does happen while you're away, they can better defend themselves. But that doesn't really matter as much here. What does matter, though, is the arcane study. Again, that was a thing that's there. So you can craft a few things. You can craft an arcane focus, craft a magic item, although that's if you're level 9 plus. You can have them craft magic items. Or at this level, you could have them craft some type of book. So at this point, it's not a whole lot that you can do with it. It's either craft an arcane focus or
And
craft
the
a book of
arcane
some
study
kind.
charm, which is really fun.
Let me see. Where is that? Oh, arcane study charm. After spending a long rest in your bastion, you gain a magical charm that lasts for 7 days or until you use it. The charm allows you to cast Identify without expending a spell slot or using material components. So that's actually pretty handy. Being able to cast Identify, it's pretty fucking handy.
And which things are in the workshop? It comes with
That
6
is one pulled
things.
up. Let me pull it up here so I can see it in front of me. Oh, it's alphabetical, so it'd be further down.
Yeah, I picked
Workshop.
out 6 for the one that I was planning on putting in my area, but we can like make it so that we have all of the tools in preparation.
I'll tell you what currently is in there would be carpenter's tools, because they often have to repair things around this place or build new additions. I would say there are leather workers' tools, so they could be repairing their equipment. Tinker's tools, definitely. So that's 3. Painter's tools. And woodcarver's tools. Those are, I think that was 6.
And let's see, carpenters,
Carpenters, leather
painters,
workers, painters.
woodcarvers. That was only 5.
Okay, you're right. One more would be
Mason's tools, probably?
Yeah, I'd say mason's tools would make
More
sense.
repairing of the building?
Yeah. So that's what's currently actively in here. And actually, so a couple things you can do here is you can craft adventuring gear. So that would allow you to craft anything that can be made with the tools chosen. Um, that's literally it. So if something like, for example, woodcarver's tools, if there's something you can make with woodcarver's tools, they can make it in the workshop. Can't do that yet. Okay. After spending a short rest in your workshop, you gain heroic inspiration. That's cool. Which I gotta look exactly what that does. I believe that's just the same as like some type of DM
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
DM inspiration type deal.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll kind of ask here. I'll go through and like do a bit more looking into everything relating to bastions. That way we can make these bastion turns faster. They don't happen very often. It's every like maybe in-game week there'd be one or longer, really, depending on what happens. Um, so they're not often. But I would say, how long do you guys wanna chill at this place? Obviously there'll be some conversations to have and stuff, but how long do we wanna do like a little bit of a time skip and like do some stuff here, or do we wanna what do we wanna do?
I'd be a fan of a little time skip, not like
Not a
like
lot.
skip a day to get our friend back, and then a
Yeah.
little time skip to get us like settled into here, and to get
Okay.
me back on full power, not using 4 spell slots a day to cast Nissel's Magic Aura.
Right. I could definitely say like, do we want to basically get the cat back and then do that?
Mhm.
Because if you were to time skip, well, then your friend would die. If you were to just time skip from right here,
Yeah, exactly.
so do that and then chill. Because for right now, you're kind of just waiting on this guy to fix the
Oh
tent.
yeah.
Um,
I'm probably going to in downtime start actually working on getting better at using painter's tools because I want to be able to paint. It was useful that one time, so
uh-huh.
that's why I got them. I got them to start hobbying.
Okay. I'll say like while you're just kind of waiting and chilling and everything, you start messing with that. And actually, I think at some point, um, Marcus, the gladiator type, he's kind of dressed down at this point. Um, actually sees you working on that and goes, "Uh, you paint?"
Oh, I it's been useful before, so I thought I'd pick it up as something to do on the road.
Oh, uh, actually, let me. And he kind of reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small. It's like a pocket square sized, canvas, and pulls out and says, "I dabble a little bit myself. I knew a guy long time ago. But he was a really good painter, and he kind of shows off some of his work and is like, if you need any pointers or anything, I'd be happy to help.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I do more than just paint the ground with blood. I put paint on canvas and create new life through art. Or some bullshit like that. But yeah, I I think my room's like down the hall from yours, so if you need anything, just come knock. And Seth, you say I saw in the chat you say you're staying in Chiron's quarters. Would that be where you would have been while you're doing your painting?
Uh,
Or would you have been
probably.
downward? Okay.
Either there or in the workshop with their painter's tools, but I have my own, so probably in my quarters.
Okay. Seth, you're in there. That Marcus guy smells funny. Or rather, it's a lack of smells that should be there. It's weird. It's not like it's hard to explain. There's a scent that people have that's not there.
If I'm sure, knowing in Chiron, he'd probably notice Seth staring a lot at Marcus.
Then Marcus leaves.
What is it?
He just smells weird.
Well, that's not polite to comment on.
Well, no. Listen, I get not smelling good. I mean, look at me. No, he smells off. It's like he doesn't have one. Or at least not what he's supposed to.
That is a little odd, but I can't really say it's. Well, not much can be unusual when you're here with these people, I suppose.
I guess.
Well, during this day or two that you guys have while you're waiting, anyone else have anything they wish to do? Any settling in you wish to do? No? Okay. Well, a day goes by, and that's when that would have happened. Um,
Oh.
Sorry, I heard the dog. Dog sounded like she was getting into something, so I'm just like, okay. Excuse me. So, Max. Max comes and gathers you all, and specifically, Sapling gathers you. And says, once you're all together, says, I could use some assistance. I almost have this ritual completed as far as I know. I'm working off of very little information. What I need you to do, I need one of you to assemble the tent while I continue the ritual. At that point, I need one of you, and I'm not going to lie to you, this is going to be a dangerous task. It could go wrong. I need one of you to begin to walk in the tent once I give the signal.
I'll go in.
All right, but again, I can't overstate. It could, if done incorrectly, rip you apart to your very essence, which would be, I don't know if you've done that, it would be very painful.
Okay, I've been ripped in half before.
In half.
Yeah, if not worse. I'll be fine.
He's very sturdy, but be safe. I can likely help with setting up the tent.
All right, and you, friend, and he looks toward you, Sapling. That is your... We're going to help your friend, correct?
Yes.
I think it would be best that you wait right on the outside. A friendly face, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, here goes nothing. And he rubs his hands together and, oh yes.
Before we start, I think I'm going to give Seth enhance ability. I'm trying to think of what kind of ability check this would be. I'm gonna say Constitution
Okay.
in case anything goes wrong.
All right. Any other prep work we want to do? Okay. Now, Sapling, I'm going to have you do Max's rolls. I'll tell you what to roll. Well, you're just going to roll a d20. I'll do the addition. But the reason I'm having you do it is so it's fair. Also, then the fate of all of it's in your
Oh,
hands, not
and I
mine.
will also give that to
Oh, great.
me because I'm casting it at 3rd level. So I'll also do that on myself.
Perfect. All right. So, first things first. Sapling, go ahead and roll just a flat d20 for me. And just tell me the result.
Go ahead and just roll a d20.
Yep. Don't
Oh,
add a
good.
thing.
That is an 18. I
Okay.
have whipped out some of Vaya's dice because I want all the luck I can get for this.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, the chanting begins. And you begin to feel a pressure in this room. This is happening in the arcane study. So on the top floor, there's actually a sort of glass domed ceiling. Cracked and shattered in some places, but those places patched over so that rain cannot get in. And a circle's been drawn on the floor where the tent is being set up. Go ahead, in Chiron, since you're helping set up the tent, go ahead and make me a survival check.
I will be definitely using a little bit of mending to help with the repairing process. It
For
probably
sure.
won't do anything, but
It will help a
know.
little bit.
That is a solid 16.
Solid 16, that is very solid. So you begin to set up the tent, getting things staked where they need to be. A little bit of earth has been put down here to simulate the ground so that you can put stakes down. Seems magically put there in nature. And so you begin with mending and with wit to put up the tent as Max continues to chant. And Seth, you are waiting for a signal. Sapling, go ahead and roll another d20. We have one success. On both fronts.
It's a 7.
Say again?
A 7.
7. The chanting begins to falter. The room gets very heavy. This oppressive force. It's like wind pushing in every direction, down, up, sideways. It doesn't make sense. Something's not working. And he looks frustrated. But in Chiron, go ahead and make another survival check. You are muted. Oh, I did not hear you are muted.
That one's really bad. That one's a 7.
Set 2 sevens. Normally, lucky number 7, not in this case. Your hand slips and one of the poles collapses and it starts to kind of undo a little bit of your progress. This weight, it's making it very difficult. Sapling, go ahead and roll another d20.
12.
12. He fights through. This is something he needs to do. He promised he would. So he fights through. And Chiron, go ahead and make at this point. This will be for the mending portion of things and knowing where to go. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Gonna send a little prayer up. Does nothing. It's flavor prayer.
Flavor prayer, okay.
Okay, with a plus, I have a very high plus to this. That's a 21.
Flavor Prayer does something. You are able to get the tent mended as it should. The tent looks good. At this point, it's just a matter of one more check. Hopefully. As it is to 3. Sapling, you know what to do.
I do know what to do. That's a 15.
And so, pushing through, you see the veins bulging on his neck as he's, at this point, practically shouting over the gale force winds that threaten to push him over. And at once, all of it stops. And he shouts, now. Seth, that was the signal. You run in? Okay. Tent. In Chiron, go ahead and make one more. I'll allow either, in this case, Arcana or Survival. Either one. I
I'll
think
go
I know
for
which one.
Arcana because my plus is disgusting to Arcana.
Yep.
Because I'm a thaumaturge cleric and I chose to add my wisdom modifier to my Arcana checks, and I also have proficiency in Arcana checks, so
That's wild.
that is a 19. That's a pretty bad roll. Both of those were pretty bad rolls. I have plus 10 to Arcana.
Yeah, I know. I'm shocked.
Holy shit!
So, Seth begins to charge forward. You push one last time, get the tent set up, and Seth, you charge in. I need a con save from you. Which,
I need to check the new rules on
Okay.
enhanceability, but it
Okay.
might be at advantage.
it might be. Double check that.
I'm not sure if it does con saves or not.
Yeah, I forget if it's checks or saves.
Let me check enhance ability. No, it is just ability checks. Oh, so I'm not supposed to be able to choose Constitution. That's a different thing. That's the new rules. I just said Constitution the other way. So I'll check
Fine.
those rules. Okay, no. It is wait, yes, because it's advantage on Constitution checks is how it used to be, which is how I technically used it because I said Constitution and I was not supposed to do that.
Okay. So, then Seth, go ahead and Constitution save.
9.
9. So, Seth, you begin to push forward, and you know that there is floor here, or in this case, the dirt. The dirt that was brought in here. But you begin to charge forward. You were told beforehand that you basically need to go like you're trying to go down the stairs. And you put your foot down, and you see solid earth. You feel your foot go through. And it feels like it's being ripped apart. But not like ripped off. It feels like every tendon, every muscle, every inch of skin is being torn apart. You're going to take... let me grab these here. For... What would this damage be? I'll say necrotic. Okay. I'm giving you a heads up. The damage increases with every failed attempt. So.
Is the tent set up like
It
it's
is
good?
fully set up at this point. Yes.
Okay, I will go try to help support Seth, or perhaps go in after him if he gets eaten.
Okay. All right. And by the way, that goes for any of you. Your parts in this are done. Sapling, you are kind of just waiting for your friend to come out. But you can still do things if you wish. Any of you can. Seth, go ahead and make another con save as you push further.
11.
11. That is a success. It is 10 above, 10 below, like a death save. For no particular reason. So you push down, and this you are still feeling the searing pain in your leg, but you push and you push further, and you're making it down. There are stairs here; you can feel them below your feet. Anyone have anything they wish to do?
I will do. I'm with Seth. I'm gonna pump a cure wounds into him.
Okay.
So that is 1d8 plus 5. That is 8 health back.
Hell yeah. Now you're with him, but you're not actively going down, correct? Because Seth is not very far. You can still see him at the top, like his head. Are you going down with him?
I am prepared to if he gets worse, but not yet. If he does
Okay.
another failure, then yes.
Seth, you know the save you need to make?
$14.
Okay. You push down. At this point, those of you on the top cannot see or hear Seth. But he's out of sight. There was no more yelp of pain. He's made it down further. Seth, it's becoming increasingly difficult. I'm going to give you a choice. Either the DC will increase, or you get disadvantage. Which would you prefer? You're in the final push.
I'd rather have disadvantage.
Disadvantage it is. Go ahead.
17.
And so with one final push through the darkness, you burst out into the room you've actually seen in this state. But it's oh so wrong. This is the Great Hall. But you remember seeing how things were moving around and shifting and changing while you were there and the tent was closed. Things have shifted very much out of place. It's like you smashed all of the different bedrooms that you all stayed in and every other room of this place into the Great Hall itself. It has become this mashed mess of forest and cozy home and the Great Hall and the fighting room, and you see, the first thing you see is half of its body stuck in the Great Hall table is the mechanical servant that had been there. Now, it is not its top half that is sticking out of the table, it is its bottom half that almost seems fused into and is sticking straight up out of the table. You do not immediately see Seedling. Not just at a look. What do you wish to do?
He'll call out for Seedling as he looks further for him.
Okay. So you call out. Let me actually roll here. You do not hear anything. No response that you hear. What do you do?
They'll walk further in, keep looking.
Okay. The central shaft that goes upwards is still there, by the way. Whether or not it works, you're not sure. But it is still there. Also, for those of you on top, you can now see the stairs beginning to form, though they are not fully visible. It's taking a moment, and the chanting is still going. So, Seth, you start to go further inward. Where do you go? Do you go toward where the fighting arena was? The door to it is still there. You could also go up the shaft in the center, and there is a passage you never went down that's on the opposite side from where the fighting arena was, though you don't know what was supposed to be there.
I'll go down the opposite one.
The one you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
So you open the door, and you see a hallway that quite literally spirals and is corkscrewing as you watch. Some parts of it are upside down, some parts of it are right side up, sideways. It just seems to twist. It's like an optical illusion. Start making your way. Okay. So you start making your way down this hallway. It's a little dizzying, but you eventually reach the end where things aren't moving anymore. There's a room. You see claw marks scratched into the door.
He's going in.
Okay. You open the door, and I need you to make a dex save.
$21.
You feel your foot hit something, a wire, and you immediately pull back. You didn't trip it, you caught it in time, but there was some type of trap that was set up there. And immediately, the door gets slammed and shut in your face. And you hear heavy breathing on the other side. And then all at once, you hear this pop, like your ears just pop. And the entire hallway behind you rapidly spirals, goes upright, lights pop on, and the staircase is visible to all of you. And Max looks to you all and says, I believe it is ready.
I'm going
Let's
down.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you head on down. You rush on down.
Meow.
Now, you would all see there is a doorway to the left that is open. And that being where Seth went, though you don't know that. And then there are the other paths as well. Which way would you all start going? The open door?
Yeah.
You do
Sure,
all
I'll-
note. Oh, yeah, sorry. You do note, you do see the bottom half of the robot torso in the table. You do
He's
also
fine.
see the top half is sticking out of the ceiling. It's kind of weird because it's almost like the two halves of each other are reaching toward each other. You have the legs sticking upwards, and then the arms kind of just dangling, like reaching downwards. It's kind of weird. But
And is gonna
start
wave
making-
at the top half. Does he respond?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. He's a little dead. He's a light fixture now.
Damn.
Yeah. Seth, after a moment, you see the rest of your group coming up from behind. And the rest of you see there's this door Seth's in front of with claw marks in it.
Seedling, are you in there?
It's just being careful if you open it. There was a trap.
A moment goes by, and you all hear, "Go away, you're not real." Just another trick.
No, it's us. We're here to get you out.
Another pause. Is that you, Sapling?
Yes.
What's the name of our tribe?
The Woodland Riverfront Reeds. Please come out.
The door cracks ever so slightly and looks out at you. The lights are back on.
We came
Cracks
as
a
fast as
little
we
more.
could.
And without thinking, they start to walk forward. Seth, you know what's there. Do you say something?
I don't think he'd say anything, but he reacts off instinct more so,
Okay.
and he's going to kind of step in front, grab them.
They kind of look down. Oh, sorry about that. And kind of reach down and pull a thing, and the wire goes slack. There were some bad things in here. I want to go now.
I'm grabbing my cat. I'm taking him out of here. We're going. We're leaving.
You just grab your cat and leave. And
Yep.
you
No
do.
more.
Their eyes are closed the entire time. Just not looking at anything, and just kind of mutters about many faces and changing of self, and just kind of muttering these things that don't entirely make sense. But you gather, based on what they said before, there's something in there, or was something in there, that might have looked like you.
I hate that. Hate that a lot. That's bad. That's awful. I hate that.
We may have just a warning. We're in a place that may or may not have some form of consciousness. If you hear a voice coming from the walls, that's normal. When we get out of here. I'm not sure about in here, probably not normal here.
Oh, thank you for the warning.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see all of you too. Very, very good. Very good. I don't want to go back in there again.
And we will not.
Just starts kind of once out looking around, and eventually looks at you, Sapling, and says, "You promise you're you, right?"
I promise.
Like, grabs you by the face at this point and gets really close. And just stares at you hard.
Ugh.
It's almost a little unsettling, just staring at you, reading every bit of your face, and looks at you, and then at that point looks at your eyes and just nods. Okay, I believe you.
Good.
I need to sit down.
Okay.
It's just gonna go kind of like, basically wherever they are right now, just plop. Just plops on the ground. And Max at that point approaches and says, well, it worked. Hope none of you got hurt, especially you that went in there. You're not hurt too badly, are you?
No, I was a little, and then Chiron helped out with that.
That's quite a handy little trick. All right. Okay, well, good. It's good to see you walking out in one piece because, well, there was a very good chance you wouldn't have left in any pieces at all. Would have been paste. Anyway, only seen that once. So you have your friend back. At this point, could I have my home back, my mansion?
Oh, yes. We will never want to use it again.
I'm not
Yeah, please
surprised.
take it. You'd be doing us a favor. And if you want any, like, payment or anything, I mean, you've really been a lifesaver.
No, I assure you it's okay. It it's a nice place all in all, but of course, as you've learned, there are some kinks that need ironing out. I would love to find the original creator and have a conversation, but they've probably been dead for, well, longer than any of us have been alive. So, um, there you go. Again, you're still welcome to stay here. I assume you'll show your friend to their quarters.
Yes.
All right. Well, then, respectfully, can you please get out of my study?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you. And he kindly but urgently ushers all of you out.
I'm taking my cat with me.
Oh, for sure. Cat is just slumped and is just like just going wherever you take them.
I get relocated, idiot. You've lost leg privileges.
That tracks. That tracks. As you make your way, you do pass Byron, who gives you a nod, and I'll say in Chiron in your head you hear, "Good to see you have your friend."
Yes, it's nice. It's a good day. It went swimmingly.
Uh, and kind of gives a smile, and you hear in your head, I am sorry for this communication. I am, what would you say? And he just kind of like opens his mouth, and you can see there is no tongue.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. A little surprising, but I have found myself capable of this as well. I kind of touch the earring of message that I have, though he probably doesn't know that it's magic, judging by the fact that yeah.
Yeah. Just gives a nod. All right. And then he just goes about his business, and keeps walking. But yeah. So what? Well, actually, at this point, one of you. It doesn't really matter who. If one of you could roll a D100, this will just be over the next however long you decide to
I
spend.
call it. I'm doing it.
You call it. You call the D100. Okay. This is for whatever happens for the Bastion event. Because every Bastion turn there's a Bastion event, and this will determine what it is.
Give me 27.
27. Okay. Go ahead and roll a D8.
Got a 3.
Okay. This one, nothing really happens. All is well. What's good though is there were some vermin, like rodents, that you would have heard that they'd been trying to get rid of, and they successfully get rid of those. So you are, for the time being, vermin free. So that's good. Nothing really happens this turn. But honestly, that is better than something bad, because there are bad things that can happen, and some of them could be really bad. Like I will never target your bastion, but rolling on this table, there is a chance for an attack and things like that. That's why stuff like the armory exists, so that your hirelings can defend. But there you go. Sick. I'm gonna go ahead and do that at some point. Okay. Anyway, um, so as far as that goes, how long do we want to spend? Uh, we don't have to spend any time. We could just keep going day by day, but if
Well,
there's nothing you guys specifically want to do for the time being and you want to wait a few days, we can do that
other
too.
than getting set up and setting up a little area for me and my family, I don't have anything special to do.
Okay.
As in, I'm still going to have a workshop be part of my
Yeah.
section of the Bastion because it's different tools
Of course.
and such.
And of course, things will happen while you're away. So, like, for example, if you decide, you want your own personal workshop aside from that one, you can have them while you're away building one. Stuff
Yep.
like that can happen. Okay, so I'll say, start with Seth. Anything you want to do for the next, like, let's say, the next week?
I would like to have a conversation with 2 different people at separate times.
Okay, sure.
First one is in Chiron.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what Chiron's going to be doing. Probably busy with his family, and Seth's going to come up. Hey, Dad, in Chiron, I had a question.
Of course, Seth. What is it?
So, that guy we saw with all the limbs and heads,
Mm,
it's been bothering me since we saw it. It's familiar, but it gives me some pretty bad vibes.
If I
It-
remember correctly, he does a lot of the circulation of information in the city, and yes, he doesn't give me the best vibes either.
He reminds me of something from the lab.
Oh, do you think he has to do with the person who uh, the doctor?
I'm not sure. I mean, the doctor had this weird mechanical thing that had some similarities. It's what he used to do a lot of his stuff with us.
Well, I could try to ask him how he became in such a state, but it would be difficult to approach him, as you've seen.
Yeah, and honestly, part of me feels like it'd be a bad idea to do it.
Yes, it might be.
Just kind of wanted to bring it up in case I act a little weird about it.
Oh, not a problem. I'm helping set up a little bit of a space for myself here. Would you like some help with your space if you for
I'm okay with my floor corner.
well, all right then. Just let me know.
And he's gonna kind of back away, very like awkward child doesn't know how to finish a conversation type of thing.
That tracks.
Especially after his little slip up.
Okay. And then who was the other person you wanted to talk to?
Sapling.
Ooh. Okay.
Probably later into the week.
Okay.
He'd go up to where Sapling is staying, kind of knock on the door.
Answer the door. Hello.
I know you're a little busy, but could we talk?
Yeah, sure. I'll step out.
How much longer am I... Bleh. Fuck. How much longer am I gonna have to wait?
Sorry? Or wait for what?
You know, the thing that you were gonna get me?
Was I gonna get you something? I'm sorry. I haven't been. I I really don't remember a lot of what's happened recently.
Oh.
But what was it? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to forget.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that to you.
What? What do you mean?
Um, I... I'm sorry I bothered you. uh, Never
You're
mind, forget about it.
oh okay. Well, that was weird.
He's gonna kind of stand there for a moment. So you don't remember anything that happened?
Um. Well, what do you mean by anything?
That happened over the last... I don't really know how long.
Oh, like uh, I don't know how long either, but yeah, that apparently there was a whole period of time that's gone. Just
And
one
you're
of
just...
the little wonders of being me.
And you don't think to question it.
Oh, I question it. I don't know why that happens, but I what am I gonna do about it? I mean, I I don't know why it happens. I can't ask anybody. It's not like none of you are, uh, what is it? Brain scientists. As smart as Kyron is, I don't know if he'd have any idea.
I know why.
You do?
But I don't know if I can say it.
Why?
He just kind of looks horse up and down for a second. Because you're scary and kind of big.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not scary. Am I scary? I
It's
know I'm a
not
big
you
guy.
I'm worried about.
What do you mean?
out of character, I have a question. Harley, are you okay with this being revealed to
Yeah.
Sapling? Okay, cool. You kind of have like a thing. I don't know exactly what in your head, and it takes control sometimes. It makes you forget things. And it promised me something to help me not hurt you guys anymore.
Kind of like you started saying that, the beginning of that, it's like, ah, so scary, concerned look on the face. Kind of drops while you're talking. You're not very patient.
Uh, I. It has been a while.
It has been, but we were prioritizing the friend, the cat. That
And
that wasn't
it's
clear.
been a week since we saved them.
Right. Yeah. Well, we passed by where we were close. We're not close anymore.
How far?
That's we don't know.
He's gonna insight that.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
I rolled a no.
Oh, boy.
Well, I got a 22. So
Oh.
So, what would be gathered from that?
Hmm. I guess what you would gather, uh, not entirely untrue, hasn't really been checking, so doesn't know. But that's weird. Why hasn't it been checking? I think that is good. That could be gathered.
That'd be fair, yeah.
why don't you know?
Well,
If we passed it, you should know where it is, right?
well, yeah, but I mean, shit, motherfucker. But we're not like we've been on a weird and windy road. I we kind of lost track. Going all throughout the city, it's hard to keep track of where you are. So it. Mm,
Well, Seedling is safe now. We're not in the city. And I'm getting tired of waiting. Is what happens
it's
if I hurt someone again. Could be
we
worse next time.
listen. It just we're just trying to make sure that it's a good idea for you.
I don't think
Kind
that's your choice.
let's calm down.
I will. Once you fulfill that promise.
Well, look,
Why not take another week?
I did not fully hear what you said.
Try not to take another week.
Bitch. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And he'll basically slink off to Enchiron's quarters again.
Okay.
Ew.
Listen, he wants to stay close to Father. Father keeps him feeling safe.
This is fair.
Okay. I gotta know, what's Edna doing during this time? How is Edna keeping herself busy?
Is there any kind of recreational facility in this
Oh
area?
yeah. Oh yeah. It's like the type you'd find in a city with like all the different equipment and everything, but in the basement.
Okay. Is there anything and can I get Bubbles drunk again? Is the real question.
There's no bar or any type of alcohol here other than
Where
you would have seen that Max had some in his study. However, he doesn't like people in his study.
okay, I won't go into a study. It's
Yes.
fine. Just fuck there's just gonna be fucking around Bubbles right now. She's
Okay.
not doing nothing. She's got no thoughts in her head right now. She doesn't know what's going on.
That's fair. That is, fair and valid.
She doesn't
Um
understand the worms.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If she did, she might be concerned.
That's fair. Um well, you're fucking around with Bubbles. Bubbles is having a good time just kind of hanging out. Um Goes and checks out like the rec facilities and does like a little obstacle, basically hops on his cat and does like a full-on obstacle course in the rec room with the cat, just like hopping around. um it's a good time, but yeah. I'm actually gonna send you a quick message. I know, private thoughts, oh no. um
Ruh-roh. Spooked.
oh, it'll be okay. I basically read that and then I want to do it when I can give it more time because I have a
Understood.
couple things to iron out, but I want to let you know so you're ready for it.
Understood. I'm
Okay,
prepared for emotional turmoil and trauma.
good. You should be.
Good
That's what
night.
we do here. But, um, okay. So you're just chilling. Anyone else have anything they wish to do during the time? This could be last day, somewhere in between.
Yes.
Yeah, what you
Several
got?
things.
All right.
Are we allowed to leave?
Oh yeah, 100%. You're allowed to leave. You can even go back in the city. At this point, now that you have these papers, you can literally just flash the papers at the guard and they'll let you pass. So you can just go and come and go as you please. You can go further outside the city, wherever you want to go.
And flash the cards.
Yay!
Sorry.
You can flash the guard, yes.
Ooh.
Nice. On either the day or the day after that we get the kitty back, this just the thing with the NPC, it doesn't have to be like fully role played out, but I want to take him somewhere nice to get some food and maybe some drinks because he's been through it. Probably the day of. He's probably hungry. He's probably really hungry. I want to
Honestly,
treat him.
that's the thing is Seedling has not asked for food at all. And you mentioned going out to eat and it's just like yeah, that'd be very nice. We find somewhere that's vegetarian.
Okay.
I don't really want to get into it. I saw some things in there. I I feel a little weird about things right now.
All right. Yeah, we'll find somewhere where they got some nice salads.
Eh, that that would do. Anything really. And just kind of, heads off with it. Do you want to RP it out?
I mean, sure.
Sure, okay. So you go off and looking for a restaurant. Are you looking for like somewhere nice, or like what are we talking
Yeah,
here?
somewhere nice. He's
Nice,
been
nice.
through the horrors. I need to treat. He's gonna be good.
Okay. So you head up and you would have been able to kind of notice how like things get nicer as you go closer to the spires. Um and you actually hear a little bit about a restaurant in one of the spires itself. Um that being a kind of a somewhat upper class establishment, but not quite like the suit and tie establishment. It's like a slightly nicer
Mhm.
cheesecake factory. It looks really nice, but it's not like suit and tie nice. Although, hey,
Uh,
do you want do something a little? Do you want suit and tie nice?
no, I'm a little bit of a criminal, so we'll just get the underneath suit and tie
That
nice.
that's fair. Listen. It's good. Like, listen, I use Cheesecake Factory as an example. I fucking love the Cheesecake Factory. I fucking
I
love
don't
that
know what that
place.
is, but I assume they make
What?
cheesecakes, which sounds pretty
Oh,
good.
maybe that's not as widespread of a thing as I thought. I don't know. It's fucking awesome.
I think it exists here. I've just never been.
That's fair. That's fair. Yes, they do make cheesecakes, among other many amazing things. So, yeah, you take them to this nice place. I'm gonna say that a it's kind of like a mixed cuisine restaurant. However, a lot of the food is sort of like Bay based in terms of it being very natural. Even the meats that they have are um, gotten from local ranches. Like a lot of their stuff is very local. The vegetables being as well, but they do also have some more exotic foods that you can get from far off lands, like the Elven Empire, which nowadays, now that it's closed off, is incredibly hard to get food and fruits and vegetables out of. So, a place that serves it
Mm,
is a little fancier for it. Um,
okay.
and so, both of you make your way in. You're seated by a very kind waiter who um, takes your orders. What kind of thing would Sapling be wanting at this fine establishment?
Um, Before he orders, he's gonna check with Seedling. Do
Hmm.
you mind if I eat something with me? I'm very hungry.
No, no, that's all right. Not for me right now.
All right. Shit. I mean, what do they have? Something, a nice meal for a
Yeah.
hungry horse.
Let me ask, are you wanting like meats, veggies, some kind of like starch, like a potato maybe?
Probably something more meat focused.
Something more meat focused? I would say something they have that could feed someone hungry enough they could eat a horse and is a horse. Um, is they have
Cannibalism.
a yeah. They actually have like a smoked meat platter. It's like this really large, it comes on like one of the big wooden charcuterie boards, and it has different types of like smoked brisket and um like they even smoked a steak and then have like one of those cloches over top that like keeps the smoke trapped in that one. It's got a bunch of like different like dipping sauces, many of which are like very herb based. And so yes, you have this heavy smoked meat, but then you have these really light sauces. Um, they even have some more exotic meats on here. It's not a lot of every type of meat, but it's sort of like a large sampler of everything. But it also has like, sweet potato on the side or regular potato, whatever suits your fancy. It's cornbread, that type of thing.
My mouth is watering. That sounds really good.
It does. There's a place near me that serves almost that exact same meal, but with non-fantasy things.
Uh,
It's it's great. Their cornbread. Oh my god. Anyway, um,
yeah, definitely gonna get one of those platters.
yes. Okay. I think Seedling is going to actually go for a. It's kind of like one of those bowls that you can get. It's got like a few different types of like, um, rices. Kind of like there's like a red rice, a bunch of like variety of vegetables, some steamed, some raw, and it actually on top has, um, what is effectively tofu, that's been cooked and then has been coated in a sauce of some kind. Looks like a sweet chili almost. And it is not a small bowl either. Like this isn't like this thing's like bigger than their head. And
Nice.
gets the bowl, kind of looks at it, looks at you, is like, I don't know if I can eat all this. This is way too much food for me.
While we're ordering, do they do like fancy wine here?
Oh, do they do fancy wine?
Uh,
Listen, they have the finest Egregio from the Elven Reaches, been aged for 10,000 years. Like, they have the finest of wines. It depends on how much you're willing to spend.
I mean, how much hypothetically would it be for a nice bottle to share of that?
Of
Probably
that
too much for me.
specifically?
Yeah.
How much you got?
I have. Is that a 1 or a 7? That's a 1. I have 313 gold.
More than that. However,
Okay, well.
you could each get a glass of it for, it'd be 50 gold pieces, 50 gold a piece, so 100 total for the two of you for a glass of that.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
like, that's more accurately like half a glass, because that's often how when you get wine, it's not the full glass, it's half the glass. So it's quite pricey. For the bottle, it would be a lot, because it's a big bottle.
Gonna lean into the waiter. What's nice, like nice fancy wine if you've lived in a forest all your life?
I
I'm not
think you
trying
would
to break the
want
budget too
the.
much.
I think you would want one of our dwarven spirits. I think I can get that for you. They have very nice wines. Um, Give me a moment. I'll bring you one to taste.
Okay, thank you. Oh fuck, dwarves get fucking crunk.
Yeah, they do.
He don't even know that.
Brings a bottle of. It's a sort of like swirling light crimson colored liquid in this bottle. Um, and the script on the front. Do you speak Dwarvish?
Hell no.
Okay, you can't read what it says, but they pour a little bit to taste for each of you and hand it. Um, it's really sweet. It's like, this isn't a dry wine by any means. This is very much a sweet wine, and it actually has some weird notes. It's almost got kind of like a basil-y note to it, which sounds very weird, but it's kind of pleasant. It's refreshing. This doesn't feel like anything a dwarf would drink. It's very strange, but it's very good. And you're told that for the bottle, it would be 10 gold pieces.
Okay, that works. That's good.
Yeah. And so you get the bottle of it, and you're handed couple fresh glasses because it's a fancy establishment. You don't reuse the tasting glasses here. No. You must get new
Certainly,
glasses.
certainly.
Um, and so you have your wine, you have your food. Anything else you want? Any
No, I
desserts?
think the wine and the food, it's gonna be good. I'll probably be eating half of Seedling's meal.
Probably. Seedling is like started eating and is already like, oh, eyes are bigger than the stomach. Like,
Oh.
oh my. Um, but
I'll pour us each a cup of the wine, a full cup. I don't. He doesn't know wine etiquette.
yeah, just pour the full glass and you get some
A
looks
little
from the
cheers.
wine snobs in the room.
I get looks everywhere I go. I'm a giant horse.
Yeah, true. Funny detail for you. So this very fine establishment. It's actually, you noticed when you were coming in and you thought it was just a design choice. The doors, they were just large archways, like massive archways, and the ceiling very high. And as you're sitting there eating, enjoying your date, you look over and you see sitting in the corner, you think it's a statue until it moves. There is a massive stone giant in the corner wearing a suit tailored to his size and seems to be sitting at a very large table chatting with some of the other clientele.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you gather from the way that the waiters are kind of bowing and everything to him, that's the owner of the establishment. And
Fuck yeah.
some things were sized for him, including the doorways. But yeah, you sit there and enjoy your meal, and Seedling at one point looks at you and says, "You know, I'm glad you found me.
Me too.
And I don't just mean down in that tent," and kind of shudders. Deathfall, in general, just finding me again. It was good to see a friendly face.
It was. I mean, I've been traveling with, my friends, and they're lovely. But it was so nice to finally see someone from home. To see you, really.
Maybe we'll find some others, but for now, I'm happy. Even if we don't, I found you, so I'm happy.
So a little half smile, like, yeah, totally. I don't care about anyone else. Totally.
Yeah. Well, takes a sip of the wine. So, what are you gonna do now?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Drink a bit of wine.
I don't know. We're in a big city here, and you got a nice place to stay for now. I've been thinking about where to go from here, and I spent so long traveling around looking for others that now I don't know what to do with myself. I was looking for others, and then I found you, and I don't know if I should keep looking or if I should settle somewhere. I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm just trying to see what you're doing. Maybe I'll do something similar.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I hadn't really thought about it. You know me, I'm not very, what's the word? I don't know. Decision-y.
That's fair.
I've just been traveling with the group, and I don't know. I just think I'll probably just stay with them. It's kind of like being part of a pack again, so to speak.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Were you filled in already on everything that happened? I'm guessing you were.
Uh, yeah, I was, and Chiron filled me in.
Okay. So you know we got attacked, and that's how I got trapped.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, once we're done up this way, I want to go find them again. I don't know if you'd want to, if your group would be willing to come with, but those are bad people.
Well, if you want to go, I know I'm not going to be able to stop you. So I'd want to support you, and hopefully, the group would too. But I guess we'd just have to see.
At some point, just whenever there's time.
Yeah.
I know you're all real busy up this way, but at some point. But for now, let's enjoy the meal that I'm already struggling to eat any more of. It's very good, but oh my, that's just it's so much.
Yeah, let me diversify my palate a little. He puts his plate out to get some of the veggies.
Hmm. It's very good. It's very good. And so you think's kind of like, oh, try some of that right there. That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh, this is good.
Yeah, I see. I told you. Um, but
These
you,
vegetables are so good. And
I know
this
they're so
this wine, this is like, oh, what is it? It reminds me of something. It's like, oh, that one time
oh
I came home, I got some berries. I don't even remember where I got them, but they were like, they tasted kind of like this. They were really good. They were weird
yeah,
though. I don't
yeah.
know
It's
where I
like they
got
just
those.
crushed them up, and oh, see, you got to try to remember.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, good luck with that.
Well, you sit, you have a nice meal. Um, and by the end of it, once you guys are getting close to finishing up, uh, your seat or you shake, um, as large footsteps approach, and leaning down to the table next to you, you see the face of the stone giant. He says, "I hope you enjoyed your meal. Is there anything we can further get you?"
Uh, no, thank you. We're great. It was great.
It's our pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a fine rest of your day. And he
You too. Thank
motions,
you.
thank you, motions one of the waiters forward to bring the bill for whenever you choose to leave, and they rush off as the giant goes table to table, similar spiel. Um, but by the end of it, you pay. It does come out to roughly, I'll say probably for that, 30 gold total.
All right. I've already taken the wine out of my balance.
So it'd be an
So that's
additional
without
20.
that.
That's with that. So it would be an
Yeah,
additional
okay.
20. Yeah, basically it was 10 per meal plus the 10 for the wine.
All right.
Okay. Which doesn't sound like a lot when you have hundreds of gold, but when you consider how much most people make,
Yeah.
that's a bit.
I'm pulling
That's
out of my savings.
yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, sorry, my dog. She's right in front of me sitting here, and I started like petting the ears, doing one of like the rub the ears because they're fuzzy, and she looked very content. And now whenever I stop, she like shoves her head into me to get me to do it again. I'm done. No more. No. No. Okay. Well, with date concluded, full bellies, and 30 gold later, you make your way. Is there anywhere else the two of you wish to go?
Yeah, I've got no more ideas. So
Okay. Well, start to head back and eventually make your way back to the area, making your way outside the city walls, making your way back to your home for now. We are getting close to the end here, but is there anything else anyone wants to do? We have some time, so like no rush, but anything anyone wants to do?
I'd like to have a couple more conversations, but we could wait till next Saturday, or we
It's
could.
up to you.
You
I
don't know.
who's the conversation with?
Definitely wanted to introduce self to Edna. Firstly, that
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea.
Okay. I mean, if you two want to do that now, you can. I'm okay with that, or that's up to you guys. Because at this point, we're in downtime, so it's whatever you guys want to do.
I'm down, yeah.
You're done? Okay.
Yay!
Hell yeah. So, converse away.
All right, I'll find Edna wherever she is in this place, probably fucking around with the squirrel.
You walking on a scene of
Oh no.
Bubbles riding his cat around the recreation room and Edna hyping him up. Yes, yes, you can do it. Yes, you did it. Sip, you missed. He failed it like 5 times in a row, and he gets it this time. Very good.
Oh, that's good.
It's great.
Yeah, sounds great.
Anyway.
So, I feel like I'm interrupting something, but I just
No, you're
wanted
fine.
to come here to introduce myself. I know we've been traveling together for a little while now, but I don't remember any of it. So, this is the first introduction that I know of. So, hi, my name is Sapling, or at least that's what everyone calls me at this point. But, it's a pleasure to meet you, and you are Edna, right?
Yes, I am Edna. What do you mean you do not remember?
Oh, I have problems with my memory. It's a whole thing. I don't really know why, but I just forget stuff.
This is interesting. Last time I talked to you, I think you used the word we. Now you use I. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, you do what you want to do. Not my problem. Unless you want it to be my problem. I can make it my problem.
Oh, it's okay. I already bother in Chiron all the time, so
Yeah.
you're good.
What else am I here to do except be bothered?
Play with squirrels?
It is fun, but does not give me fulfillment in life.
Well, if you want to worry about me, I give you full permission.
Well, I'll worry when I think I have something to worry about, which you haven't told me if I do yet, so I'm not going to.
You seem like a very well put together person. I'm glad we have someone like that. Well, another person like that on our team. It's balancing out the scale.
Well, you spend period of time working for people who you find out later are brainwashing you, basically, and then you leave, and then you think, maybe I cannot think like that. I don't know. It's a bad description, but a long time in woods, I feel better as a person.
Long time in woods. We have that in common.
Yes. sometimes we're not so good. One time, I was hunting rabbits. The rabbits won. I got in my own trap, and then they pooped on me.
Oh no, that that oh poor thing.
It was a tragedy. You see, I love nature, but nature does not love me, as many people do not love me. I am often what misunderstood is the word. I say something and someone doesn't believe it, or they attack me for, I don't know, I talk funny and they don't like it. Not my problem, but, well, my problem. But, you know, I cannot control others' actions, and I've given up on trying.
Fair. I think we're gonna be friends.
I do too. Good luck. I hope you remember this one.
Yeah, hope so. I'll leave you to your squirrel business now. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Right. Round 75.
Bubbles was like, yeah. All right.
Wait, no, hang on.
You
wait.
don't know. You don't know.
Wait. Oh, actually, I forgot something.
Yeah.
I got like this whole bottle of wine from this restaurant. I thought me and my friend were gonna like drink it all, but there's actually way more in here than I thought. You seem like someone who
You're going to hand that to me now.
okay.
Thank you. Bubbles. Bubbles, we're going to have a great time.
Is there more alcohol?
Oh, yes.
And I
Yes.
immediately runs away. I didn't see it happen.
And then Bubbles and Edna proceed to have the greatest time.
Gonna fucking kill it.
What's he gonna do about it, huh?
He's fucking immortal. You can't kill him. Or at least that's what he believes right now.
Oh yeah, wine will do that.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Beautiful.
Yep. What have you done? You gave them wine.
I had to.
This is what I call the best timeline.
This is the best timeline. There's no cities exploding. There's people getting wine drunk. Squirrels
No.
getting wine drunk.
That word isn't allowed. You're not allowed to say the T word in here anymore.
Mm,
No more time.
no more time. You're
No
right.
more.
No
You're not
more.
allowed.
I fucked with it too much. Wow. Wait till you see what I have planned for. No, I'm kidding. No time
Are
stuff.
Val, why are you fucking time? Sorry.
Well, it fucked me, so I'm fucking it back, baby.
Oh,
What the fuck?
sorry. That noise came out of me. Instinctually.
Yeah, fair. So, honestly, that's time, and I think that's a good place to, a good lighthearted place to
Perfect
call
way
it
to
for
end
this
it off.
week.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's a better way to end it.
Yeah.
I guess now we just always have to end on some fuck shit happening with the squirrel. Because that just seems to be the best way to go about this.
It wasn't
Yeah.
intentional, but I guess here we are.
Here we are.
Random encounter
You-
with a squirrel becomes way sessions end.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm not welcome. I'm Val.
Motherfucker.
Anyway, that's where I'm gonna end stream. See you later. Bye bye.